We'll get it all together here.
You're trying to be open.
Did you want to take any action?
And they vote, are you gonna do a motion on that, or?
That's what he's asking.
Does the-
Oh, okay, thank
Does the
you.
council want to make a motion on having two sign-up sheets?
I'd like to make the motion that we have two sign-up sheets, one for public speaking and one for agenda items.
We have a motion by Councilman Halisky for two sign-up sheets, one for public comment and one for agenda items. Second by Councilman McCray. All those in favor say aye.
If I may, now I'm not saying this to be mean, do we, nothing against, I know you're not gonna talk much, I know nobody will talk much, is there a time limit, is it the same time limit, is it just we can talk? I'm just, I know we always don't wanna be here till, 11 o'clock, 12
The
o'clock.
council can impose a time limit, it's usually.
And that's all I'm trying to do, just for,
It's
we're
usually,
not gonna cut you short, we haven't yet, I know we have times here on 3, and if you guys are talking, that's what we want to know, what is going on, so.
it's up to you all.
Maybe have
It's
something that
usually-
the mayor can make it mayor at his discretion, but I like to just mayor at his discretion and just say, okay, it's time to move on. I don't really want to set a specific time limit myself, but if we could get,
Well, again, it's up to you all what you want to do, but it's usually 3 minutes. That's what most places allow.
you're the one who brought it up, you think you could make it more in 3 minutes?
3 minutes?
You want to
I
go
can
5?
sit down and get back up. and
You want to go 5
minutes.
minutes? Would you rather have 5?
5 minutes would be great. That's why we don't use the
Now,
5,
second,
sit down before
John
that.
second the motion then.
Okay.
We
Sign up twice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'll
Well,
just sit down and stand back up and
There
take a
there was a
6-minute
motion
turn.
and a second, just to have a separate time sheet. You want to amend your motion to have a 3-minute time limit on the.
A 3-minute, or can I amend it to
What do
say
you want?
3-minute or the mayor's discretion for the sign, for the public, speaking,
Agenda items.
agenda items? How's that?
Yes.
Do you have an amendment to that motion?
And also,
We have a second by Councilman McCray. The motion was amended by Councilman Halisky, her original motion. Is there any other discussion? Call for a vote. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion is carried. Consider an act upon acceptance of the city audit for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2013.
do you have your auditor here?
Is the auditor here?
They usually come in, have they presented the audit to the city?
No?
They haven't come in and done? Yeah, I think you need to table that and have the auditor come in. Present, make a presentation. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to table.
Have a motion to table item E under new business by Councilman Turner. Have the second by Councilman Ripp. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. All those opposed? Next item on the agenda is item, under new business is item F, discussion on an ordinance to the city of China Grove, Texas, amending its zoning ordinance to create a special use permit, application and approval process for placement of church sanctuaries and related structures within its residential district, declaring a public purpose, incorporating recitals, providing a repealer, providing a penalty, providing for severability, requiring publication, and setting an effective date.
Mayor, this is a discussion item only tonight. You have been provided with a proposed ordinance that will amend your zoning code to provide a process where individuals can come in and ask for permission to place structures that are not necessarily residential, but that are the types of structures that can typically be found in residential districts such as churches. It provides a process where they have to come before the council, submit an application, they have to basically tell you exactly what they're doing there. If you look at page number 2, it talks about the content of the application, and it talks about arrangement of proposed uses, off-street parking, building improvements, fences, signs, dumpsters, means of ingress and egress, visual screening, outside lighting, drainage, uses to be permitted, setbacks from lot lines, hours of operation which are compatible with the adjoining zoning district use, and any other information requested by the city. The council will publish, will have a public hearing on this. The council can approve it or deny it. They can impose conditions that are consistent with the purposes of the ordinance. For example, this church that is considering building within a current residential district can be given hours of operation where you're not going to be having outside services at 2 o'clock in the morning or something, things of that sort. Not that that would happen, but those are the kinds of things that you can say, okay, we're going to let you do it. You have to come and you have to comply with the requirements. This is separate and apart from this does not rezone the property, but it basically gives you an ability to allow that use. And churches are typically allowed in residential districts. Your current zoning ordinance doesn't allow them within residential districts. This is many zoning codes allow a church to be built, just the church, the sanctuary related structures. You can't go there and build a university. You know, this is a church, a place of religious worship. Most of them that allow that will allow them in any district, but they will require a special use permit from them. This will create the mechanism for the city to do that. If you look at item number 9 on page 3, it talks about a process that they have to go through. They file it for the city secretary, reviewed by the engineer and attorney, comes to council. There's a plan check for the UP that has to be filed. Because your engineer is going to have to look it over and make sure that there's a site plan that meets your requirements of your both your zoning code and your subdivision ordinance. And if it meets those requirements, the council can approve it. And this I think is primarily aimed at those purposes, but there could be other things that you might want to allow in a residential area. So again, this is an item that is for you to look at and think about tonight. There is no action to be taken on this. I did forward to the city secretary a proposed notice to be published in the newspaper. If you want to take action on it at your next meeting, it needs to be published by the 19th of this month, because it has to be published for 2 weeks before the item. And I believe that you were here on the item.
Right.
Could you come up here?
Gee, just
Sure,
state your
go.
name.
Sure, I'm Shanna Castro, and so I'm just here, I actually was just here to observe, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.
Well, I think they'd like it. There have been meetings with one of your elders and Buck Benson, who I guess you were with.
I do.
But if that was just that was not with the council, so if you could explain a little bit of what the proposal is. I'm a little unclear on the daycare, whether you're looking for a commercial daycare operation.
I don't think that's the use right now. I think that they normally have the sanctuary that they'd like to put in, and they have the daycare as an ancillary use when people are in service, and I think also it's about the people that work at the church. church to have daycare there as well. So I just wanted that to be out there for you to consider while you're thinking about this agenda item, to make sure that that's accounted for.
And I'm not sure that everybody here knows where it's going to be.
Oh, I have.
Anyone here? Anyone here?
I don't know the exact address,
It should be,
but if I can approach it and show you what.
it should be done.
Well, we have a map back
Oh, I'm
there.
sorry.
It's in the 1700 block of Foster Road South, which is, Foster Road, which is north of Highway 87.
Saw it on the way here.
It was a property, there were 4 tracts of land, I think, in there, that were about 17 acres each or so. This land was being used as grazing land by a rancher. It backs up to Sierra Bonita Homes, or district, or that subdivision. On the backside, on the south side of it, there are 2 homes? 2 homes, I think, are on that. And on the north side is another 17-acre tract, and then there is a couple of mobile homes, or other homes, to the north of that, in that area. I think y'all are gonna use only, what, at first, how many acres, 6 or 7 of it?
I don't know.
It was 9 or 11.
9, 11 or something?
9 or 11, I forget how much church bought.
That sounds
You remember, Council?
It was,
9 acres,
I think
It was 20 acres, and it was 9 or 11 that church purchased, with option to buy the rest.
I have a site.
Now, one thing I want the council to understand, that if you approve this, that doesn't mean you're approving this project. That means you're putting the mechanism in place to allow them to build within that Category 1 district without having to rezone it into a Category 2 district. This is a less involved process. I think this is the way that most places do it. It is unusual that we do not have any sanctuary use allowed within a residential zone. If you think about it, many churches are located historically, have been located in parish. They're usually somewhere around homes, not necessarily in your commercial area for whatever reason. When you pass your zoning, maybe that's just where they all were. I'm not sure. My understanding is that currently there are no churches in Category 1 zoning districts in the city.
There might be one on 87, 2 of them, maybe 2 of them on 87, because they're in a commercial zone, which includes approximately 300 feet off of 87. And so both of those churches would be in that zoning area.
So they're commercial.
They're in a commercial area.
That was my question. Are there any churches right now that are not in commercial?
Not that I know of any. Does anybody know?
Mark,
I think we only have 3 churches and they're all on 87.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's on 87, most of 87 has been zoned, commercial. 300 feet from,
This
Property.
is one means of doing it. The other means is to rezone it. And if you rezone it, then you're gonna have to have a reason for rezoning that parcel commercial when everything else around it is residential. I believe that this is the way to go. This is my recommendation. You will retain control, a good amount of control over the uses that are permitted on there. In fact, you can spell them out, which you cannot normally do in zoning. You don't zone to a particular use, you zone to a district. And within that district, you have uses that are allowed, but you're not saying you can only do this. If you approve an amendment to your zoning code to create this permit, you actually say, this is all you can do. You can do these 10 things. You can have church service, you can do this, you know, and it's the typical things that a church will allow. And like I said, you know, and when I spoke to Bud, he said it was sanctuary, daycare. As long as it's not a commercial use, then I would not see that would be a problem. Again, if they're gonna come out here and open a university, you know, then that's different, okay? You don't have to let them do that. But here, they're simply saying this is gonna be a place of worship. My understanding, there's nothing around it but vacant field and some residential behind.
It butts up to residential subdivision of Terra Bonita, and on to the south of it, there's two houses on the south. The north side of it, there's same size tract, and then there's another small tract where, and then further down, there's a couple of houses been there for years on Foster Road. We only have that side of the road. City of San Antonio has ETJ on the other side of the road. We have no control over that.
One question, since there are residential houses right next to it, how are they going to be affected by this type of zoning change?
Well, it's not a zoning change, it's a change to your zoning code to allow somebody to come in and ask for permission to do this. So it's a two-step process.
Okay.
One, you need to change your zoning ordinance to allow it, and then the applicant has to come in and apply
Like a normal
for
zoning?
the permit, right?
Okay, so they would be able to come in if they had some problems with it, they would be able to come in at that time to
All right,
discuss.
when you hear the application, Ms. Castor will be here, Mr. Benson, or whoever's coming down, I would imagine there would be some people from the church that would show up. You will have a public hearing at the time you actually approve this, okay? Or consider it for approval. You can listen to them. They can say, well, you know what, I don't really mind if they're there, I just don't want them doing this, you know, or we want the cars parked over here, or maybe we want, you know, certain things there. Those are the types of considerations that you can say, okay, well, we'll let you do this, but, you know, you're gonna have to do this to put up screening, and have to plant some trees back there, or, you know, we don't want a basketball court right next to the house that's behind there, so they can hear somebody thumping a ball all night long, or something of that sort. Those are the kinds of things that you can impose on the permit, and it'll actually be spelled out. It'll say, here it is. This ordinance actually requires them to come in and agree to it. They have to sign and say, we're going to do this. And if they don't do that, then you can implement a process to bring them back and say, hey, you know what's going on here, and why are these things happening?
Okay.
The state law is actually states that they can come in, they have the right to come in certain areas where they want to build. This just helps us as a city take more control of what we want and how we put it in, and take control of it more than that.
There's been a lot of cases involving cities trying to restrict churches, and typically they are allowed. I'm Ms. Castor's feet are getting sore up there, so.
You want to say?
I don't know if you have anything else to ask her. They generally are allowed. You're generally allowed in the zoning district, but you can put conditions. So, I mean, if they're gonna go build the Astrodome out there, and there's gonna be 10,000 people out there on Sunday, well, maybe not that, you know. But if it's a regular church, you know, something that you think fits the general character, then you can approve it if you change your code. Again, if you don't do it, then they've got to come here and resign. Because your zoning code is very clear that you do not currently allow churches in a category of this.
Along those lines, we have the city would zone the whole property.
You're not zoning.
or we would pass this special permit or special district for that whole property, or just the property that they have bought?
The individual that comes in and applies for the permit has to prove to you that they own the property. And we already have the deed. I have it at the office. I believe it's for 9 acres.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So you would get a meets and bounds description, you would pass an ordinance, you would approve the special use permit for that property. And in that permit, you would specify the conditions which they would be allowed to operate.
We would do this at the next public hearing.
Okay, if you're going to do this, the first thing you have to do is to change your zoning code. And in order to change your code, you have to have a public hearing, and you have to publish notice of that in the newspaper before the 15th day before the hearing. And I sent it to Linda, I calculated, based on your next meeting, if this is when you want to do it, it would be the 19th that it has to be in the newspaper. And then you will have, during your meeting, you will have a public hearing. There will be a sign-up sheet in the front. People can come in and speak about it. And there will be notice in the paper, there will be notice on the website, there will be notice on your bulletin board for anybody who wants to come in and talk about the amendment to your zoning ordinance. You wouldn't take action that night, no.
One more question. If they did decide to buy the other 11 acres, they would have to come in and submit another permit and go through the same process for changing that 11 acres into what they would like to have done in, I mean,
Well, I don't know what they're planning on doing with the other 11 acres, but if they're planning on doing something there that is not permitted within that zoning category, then you would have to determine what it is they're doing and what is the best mechanism for addressing that.
so their best mechanism is to think about the whole entire property and put it into the first zoning
Well, if
permit.
they don't own it, they can't do it.
Well, since they have the first right to purchase, then they should consider what all, if they, say in 5 years, come in and purchase the other 11 acres, then they need to have put into their first one, no. So they,
What would happen is you would either approve or deny it. If you approved it, they would come back and amend it or ask for a new one, whichever way council thought. Yes?
I believe that, I'm just trying to clarify, the state law says I have to notify residents within 200 feet, no?
Because you're not rezoning, you're just changing your zoning ordinance. You're passing a rule that changes your zoning ordinance. There's no change to your map that's going on.
Okay,
You only notify people within 200 feet if you're rezoning.
okay.
There's no state law provision on SUPs. That's just something that occurs.
Okay.
And there's nothing stopping the city from notifying people within 200 feet. It's just that you don't have to.
Okay.
So, since you all have never had a chance to look at this, now you have it. My recommendation is that you would table it. If there's something you want to consider at the next meeting, you can direct the city secretary to publish the required notice and to schedule a public hearing on it.
From the council, does anybody?
The item is a discussion item only, but if it's a consensus of the council to move forward, then you, the mayor, can instruct her to do that.
Motion to move forward?
There's no action on this. Just leave it.
Just tell them to move forward on this action.
To go ahead with the hearing?
I would, unless there's some opposition, the recommendation would be to at least schedule a hearing and then take action on it at the meeting. I believe it's on the 3rd of April.
Very,
Okay, so then just be.
Should I agree with the council? Yeah, we got to agree.
After the next council meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give us time to review it too.
So motion.
So, we'll table the motion right now. Have a motion to table it, and we have a hearing posted, and
I make a motion that we table this agenda item and proceed with the public.
Yeah, it's just a.
Motion to table.
Actually, since it is a discussion item, there just no further action is taken.
okay, no further action.
The mayor will direct the city.
Okay. At this time, the council will go into executive session here at 7:26. Under Texas Government Code, annotated sections 551.071, 1-2, consultation with attorney, Texas Government Code, annotated section 551.074, personnel. And to be discussing and filling the police chief vacancy, possible interview of applicants for police chief vacancy, and discussion of appointment of the interim police chief. Time is 7:27.